of the piece I'm going to read is Kali Yuga. In Hindu cosmology and philosophy, a yuga is an era within a cycle of the 4 ages of man. The Kali Yuga is the last of the 4 cycles. This is the most spiritually corrupt, divorced, and morally eroded of the cycles, and it is in the Kali Yuga that we are at greatest odds with God and an ultimate reality. Yet, the purpose of the destruction at the end of the Kali Yuga is that what's plowed under fertilizes, it catalyzes the rebirth of the world, which leads again to the first Yuga, which is the Satya Yuga, and this is the golden age of man. It's a mad time to write poetry. The night's too black to blow back inhaled smoke. The sky's so blue the stars are drowning. The moon drops its face onto the horizon and splashes landscapes around the borders of vision. Screech owls steal baby screams for the darkness. It's a mad time to write poetry as the sun explodes into shattered fractures, as the clouds fall down as clouds, as the adulterous summer noon breeze mingles the mid-morning squaws of Mother Crow. It's a mad time to write poetry when sanity is found only in sound vibrations, when opiates stimulate and implore vigor, when the children of athletes all play video games. It's a mad time to write poetry as explosions shock the unnatural world, as the termite ascends to the throne, as the thermal condition of knowledge is stagnant technological heat. It's a mad time to write poetry for oneself or another self, for those weaving the wicker basket of death, for the people dying but not dead. It's a mad time to write poetry because lines on paper delimit writing, because words on lines is adept gluttony, and books incessantly flap their laden, empty pages. It's a mad time to write poetry in a daydream that's not your own, in a prison cell that is not your home, in the sunroof of your secret indulgence. It's a mad time to write poetry when jewelry wears people, when foxglove is a fox's glove, when the holly tree is sinister in its pricks as malice and aforethought dominate inanimate objects. It's a mad time to write poetry in front of red blinking lights and blinking lights that are not red. It's a mad time to write poetry as drugs now precede headaches, as memory serves for blunted actuality, as pens reverse the order of higher function to survive the purpose of baser operations. It's a mad time to write poetry if no one is listening, yes, listening. If words read only to themselves by matchlight, if the spirals and spines of pulpy trees keenly bow before the demand of their shadow, it's a mad time to write poetry when cursing honking antelope in traffic, when cutting lines is less than cutting in line, when holes sought to conclusion only revolve and service no end but their own. It's a mad time to write poetry, for the furious daylight paying penance to existence is shackled to the outright thought of bright writing which coaxes and goads the fire-bellied salamanders to march.